Oh, I wanna be there, yeah, in my city. Whoa. Welcome to KC's Corner. I bet you guys wasn't ready to hear that. A little Journey, a little Steve Perry. You know, I'm always coming with some Drizzy or, or a little Bobby Shmurda or Shmoney Dance, whatever the case may be. I had to take it to Journey. I had to take it to Lights, man, because this is kind of officially, unofficially, the San Francisco Giants remix of the KC's Corner. I mean, I got the Niners remix that comes out every week, and I'm sitting here with this team about to win 3 champions. Well, hopefully, I'm knocking on wood. I'm not presuming anything, but hopefully about to win 3 championships in 5 years. How can I not have a special Giants podcast? So thank everybody for listening. Appreciate y'all clicking on that download button, taking a listen to it, and to help me out today, talking about this Giants quest for a 3rd championship. I got my main man from way back, CK McClatchy. What up? Lamb Live. What's good?
What's going on, big kid?
Not much, man. Not much. I mean, I'm just engulfed in this whole championship run, man. It's wild. It's wild, man. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, man. And I don't know if you remember this at all, but I remember in 2010 against the Braves, Game 3, Sergio Romo against Eric Hinsky. The Giants were leading 1-0, and there was a runner on first base. Romo serves up one of them hanging sliders to Hinsky in the bottom of the 8th, and he sails it over the right field fence. Braves take a 2-1 lead. I got kicked in the nuts. And soon after that, you text me. You the one that texted me, and you said, very innocently enough, very in the same matter of probably every other fan in the world, like, God damn it, Romo, leaving sliders up there. I can't believe he did that. And at that moment, it wasn't you. It was just anything. At that moment, I just snapped. And I don't know if you remember this at all, but I text you back and I said, God damn it, no, it wasn't Romo. It's the goddamn Giants. They do this to me every time. They did it in 97. They did it in 2003 and 2002. They do it every time. They find a way to kick me in the nuts, and they did it a goddamn again. I snapped. I snapped on text. I said, God damn it, they did it again. They got me again. And ever since that moment, nothing has been the same. Nothing has been the same since that moment. They've never kicked me in the nuts again, Slam.
Hey, I remember that moment exactly the way you just said it. I remember that moment because you know why? Because I got kicked in the nuts too. Because I mean, I'm not the biggest or the longest Giants fan out there, but I've been with these cats since '02, basically, with the Bonds.
Yeah.
You know, I've been with them for a minute. You know,
I can vouch that you've earned your stripes. I can vouch for that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, football, basketball, those are always my first 2, but like the Giants are always kind of back pocket, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, every year they kind of, they give you, you're kicking them nuts because they always find some way to lose it. And 2002, 2003, when they played against the Angels, I remember that. I remember that day where I was at, time, I remember the moment. When they choked that game, and I was like, it was crazy because it was like Bonds hit that home run. He hit that home run. I was like, okay, it's over.
They went up 5-0, 5-0 in the 7th.
Yeah, I remember that, and I was like, okay, this game we got it unlocked. The streak is going to end. We're finally going to get our due. And then all of a sudden, that damn rally monkey.
That damn rally monkey. God damn it.
Thank God memories, but since 2010 though.
Yeah,
we got it back.
And you know what? It's been 2002, and for somebody like me, who the Giants were the first team I ever liked. I mean, I love the Niners, I love the Kings, but my introduction to sports was the San Francisco Giants. And you go back to 1987, losing to the Cardinals. You go to 89, getting swept by the A's. You go to 93, losing on the last day of the season after winning 103 games. You go to 94 when they got interrupted by the strike. You go to 97 when they got swept by the Marlins. You go to 98, losing that wild card game in Chicago. You know what I mean? You go to what was that, 2001? No, 2000. They had the best record in baseball, and they lost. Who they lose to in 2000? Was that the Mets year, or was who? I think that was the Mets year. Yeah, it was definitely the Mets year. They lost to the Mets in the heartbreaker, lost in 15 innings in New York in Game 3, and then got shut down the next night in Game 4 to lose the series. 2001, Barry Bonds breaks the home run record, but they lose. They get eliminated by the Dodgers. 2002, we've talked about that.
I will stop you right there. 2001, you want to talk about heartbreak. That series against the Dodgers, I was at that game.
Whoa. Let me hold on, Lamb. I got to correct you. That was 2004. That was the other kick in the nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, tell everybody. Go ahead. Tell everybody about 2004.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you when my allegiance was actually tested. All right. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people think, oh, I'm a Giants fan, blah blah. I got a jersey, I got a cap. I'm gonna tell you how I got I earned my card as a Giants fan that day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This was back, like you said, early 2000s.
2004.
So I was still kind of going to school down there in LA. You know what I'm saying? So, I was like, well, I'm gonna catch Giants game. Giants Dodgers. That's always a good game to watch. I at that time I lived like only a couple blocks away from Dr. Stadium. So I didn't just walk there. I didn't even take a car there.
Right.
So I walked there. I had my Giants cap on. This is when Bonds was still batting home runs and stuff like that. When he had a big head, now his head's all skinny now. But whatever. We're not gonna get to all that.
Yeah, leave 25 alone. Leave 25 alone.
Yeah, we're not getting all that. But so I was at the game. You know what I'm saying? Bonds is just the guys are doing the thing. They're doing the thing. All of a sudden, Bond hits a home run. I'm just telling all these guys, oh, what's up now? What's up now? It's over, yo. It's over. All of a sudden, the Dodgers make a comeback. I'm like, you got to be kidding. This cannot be happening right now. And I think it was Finley.
Yeah, it was that some bitch Finley. Excuse my language. I try to keep it clean, but so what? When you talk about the Dodgers, you end up cursing. Go ahead.
Yeah, he hits the home run, and it ends it, and it knocks the Giants out. They didn't make the playoffs after that. They didn't make the playoffs. I was like, you got to be kidding. So that's whatever. But remember, I didn't drive to the game. I walked to the game with my Giants cap on. So I had to walk back home on the side of the street while all these Dodgers fans are driving by me and giving me everything to your mama, to everything, and just throwing it all at me. And I'm just walking. You know what I'm saying? I kept my head up, held high, and I was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Had my hat on, still walking down, went home. No big deal. That's when I earned my card as a Giants.
I was just about to say, you earned your stripes.
I could have just took the cap off, put it to the side. Nobody would have saw anything. Now, I wore that hat proud because that's my team.
You earn your stripes, buddy. You definitely earn your stripes that year. So we say all this. We go through all these memories and all these bad experiences to get to like we started in 2010 when Romo gives up the homer. And like I said, ever since that moment, nothing has been the same. Nothing has been like we knew it for the last 20 plus years, 30 years almost. For you, for the last 10, 15 years. Nothing has been like we had come to know it. This team is now clutch. This team makes all the right moves. We've got a manager who outmanages everybody every time he plays them. I mean, and here we are. When I honestly believe, here's another quick story. In 2009, the Yankees won the World Series. And I remember watching the Yankees win the World Series. And they won, final out, everybody goes crazy. And I sat there and I was like, damn. I wish I could know what that feels like. Just one time. I want to know what it feels like to have your team be the rulers of the world, of the sports world. I just wish. And then all of a sudden in 2010, you got Lincecum, Kane, Huff Daddy. You got Buster Posey coming on the scene. Buster Posey changed everything. Buster Posey changed everything. We got love for Lincecum. We'll never forget 55. But 55 was there when the Giants weren't winning anything in 2007 and 2008, 2006. Buster Posey comes along, and he's the natural. He's the new Derek Jeter. Buster Posey changes everything. And here we are. They win in 2010. Then they have that miracle run in 2012 where they win 6 elimination games in a row, coming back against Cincinnati. The Raleigh Zito game where they come back in 2012 against the Cardinals. Then they beat Verlander and the Tigers. And now here we are on the brink. One game away, Lamb. One game away from a third championship in 5 years. 6 years ago, I said just once. I just want to feel this once. I just want to know what it feels, and I don't think I'll ever feel it. This was only 6 years ago when I was thinking this. Now I'm hoping and praying that I get ready to go to another parade. This is unreal, man. I mean, your thoughts.
You know, I have not. You know, it's been amazing. You know, like you said, you know, like winning the chip. It's like not everybody can do it. Some people go through their whole lives. Like, not even their lives, but their father's lives. Never even be able to experience their team winning a World Series or getting to a World Series at all. You know, I've seen I've seen a lot of games throughout my life. I've even recently visited Wrigley Field, you know, historic field and everything like that.
Right.
And just like you, like in 2002 and everything like that, I was like, man, it would be just great just to know that feeling.
Right.
I mean, because I was thinking like, man, I might not ever in my lifetime see them win. I might not ever be able to do. But when they did that in 2010, it was just like, whoa, what happened? And then they did it again in 2012. I was like, wow. And that season was crazy. Like you said, all the elimination games, they came back. They showed their resilience. And big shout out to the Buster Posey. I mean, like you said, he is a game changer. Not just the natural, but the all-American. Every time I look at Buster and the way he swims, he's just all-American to me. You know, he just reminds me of that. He just reminds me of the flag. He just reminds me of All-American, the All-American pastime. That's all it just reminds me of. And he did that. He changed the game, you know. I mean, you could even go when he got hurt, you know, when he took that vicious injury at home plate. After he went down, the team did nothing. They try to, keep it interesting, but they didn't really do anything after that. No. You know, Buster was the man. He was the heart of that team. He changed it up.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I mean, and right now we're on the eve. This could possibly be the eve of our third championship.
It's unreal. It's unreal. And while we're on the eve, let's get into it. Like I said, we're definitely, if any team or fan base knows about not counting your chickens before they're hatched in the World Series, up 3-2, going on the road, it's the San Francisco Giants. Please believe that. So ain't nobody counting no chickens around here. They've got to win one game, and that's going to be the hardest game to win. All right, everybody understand that. Coming into this game, first of all, let me get back on this series a little bit. Saturday night, they're down 4-1, and I'm sitting there. I didn't give up. I'm not saying that, but I've got to be real. I sat there and I said, you know what? Maybe the Royals are just better. I was stunned. I was shocked when they went up 4-1. And I said, maybe it's time for me to quit being stubborn. Maybe it's time for me to tip my hat to Kansas City. And the series isn't over, but maybe they're just a better team right now. I was stunned. Your thoughts when the Royals went up 4-1?
I mean, same thing that you were feeling. Like you said, I was thinking like, are we gonna get kicked in the nuts again? Are we gonna get kicked in the nuts again? That's honestly, it's a very simple term and everything like that, and like it's very graphic, descriptive, or whatever you can say, but it hits. Are we gonna get kicked in the nuts again? Because honestly, I mean, a lot of people actually have the Bulls as the favorite, just because of their bullpen or whatnot, this, that, and I'm thinking like, really? I mean, we've won 2 championships.
Right, show some respect. Show some respect.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking like, okay, when they were down 4-1, I was like, okay, same thing like Yogi. Maybe they're just that good. Kenny, me and you go back long time.
Shout out to Mountain Mites.
Even though we don't, even though we're not same city. We always send each other text messages back and forth.
Right.
And I remember text message threads going back and forth. Like, when I told you, I was like, man, I don't think we can do it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we suck. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But then, you know, then I caught myself a little bit. I was like, we just got to believe. I said we believe.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened,
You did.
that's when they start rallying back. I was like, okay.
And
Here it is.
it was an unbelievable rally. I mean, you had things like, Juan Perez getting a sacrifice fly. You had Pablo Sandoval in his 2 previous at bats that day looked so god awful from the right side. He looked terrible. And I on Twitter at IMK Diddy, if anybody needs to follow me, go ahead and do that. I said, I mean, Panda, let's reevaluate this switch hitting thing like now, like right now. You're not a right-handed hitter, and what the hell happens? But in his next 2 at bats, he gets what, 3 RBIs? No, 2 RBIs. One was a hit that set up the tying run. And then he had the biggest hit of the night off I think that was Finnegan, from the right side into center field, bringing home 2, and the Giants never looked back. Man, that win, I was fortunate enough to be out at AT&T. Then I wasn't at the game, but I was around the ballpark. They had about 500 people watching the game in front of the ballpark on the Fox and ESPN monitors. The place was crazy. After the game, it was the happiest place on earth, and it had a feeling of, not to overstate the situation, but it had a feeling of the Giants had just down 4-1. They had looked death, elimination in the eyes, and they had just won. They had just escaped death. They had just escaped elimination, and now they got it back. It had that type of feeling like, okay, we faced it. We looked eye to eye. Now we got it back. Now let's do what the Giants do. Unbelievable comeback on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I'm just going to say mad bum and let you say what you got to say.
I mean, honestly, it's like, I think one word from one of the greatest entertainers fits that whole scenario on Saturday, and that's surrounding area around AT&T ballpark, and that one word is electrifying. That's what the Rock would say, electrifying.
If you smell.
What the Rock is cooking. But that place was just electrifying, and that's the vibe, and that's why I would say Bay Area fans, or just not Bay Area fans, Giants fans, Bay Area fans, NorCal fans, Sacramento fans, big shout out to 916 out there.
916, what's up, baby?
Anybody who is just down with the Giants, they just have this vibe. I'm not gonna lie. From any point of view, from a common person's point of view, from the most experienced baseball players, analyst's point of view, like you said, the Giants are facing elimination. If they lost that game, they wouldn't have been a chance. They would not have been a chance. Down 4-1 against the most hyped up bullpen in the world, and I put that in quotes, hyped up.
Please do.
I mean, there's no way, even though they would have got it back to Mad Bum, he wouldn't have done it. No, he couldn't do anything. He wouldn't be able to done anything. He could only do so much. But everybody in their minds just knew that, like, okay, if we could just get this game, if we can just escape this game, give it back to our horse, let him carry us, we can do it. And that's exactly what happened.
And before we get to Game 5, like I said, when we talk about Game 5, I'm just gonna say Mad Bum the God, and then I'm gonna let you speak. Go ahead and speak on Mad Bum the God.
That sums up everything. Mad Bum is, you know how everybody says Hunter Pence has these crazy eyes or whatever. when I look at Mad Bum, I see determined eyes. Like, this guy's gonna go out there and just throw his life out there. I mean, every time I looked up, that guy just had the eyes of Tiger, man. He was ready to go. I mean, kissing and breaking that, he's thinking that first pitch strike, he was just having command, everything, location, and everything was just perfect. Mad Bum just came to play. And I knew for sure, if it got late into the innings, there's no way he's coming out.
No.
There's no way he's coming out. And that's because he's a gamer. Yeah. Mad Bum is a gamer.
Mad Bum is so sick, and what he did in Game 5 is one of the great performances in World Series history, in my opinion. I mean, hands down, he's obviously cemented himself right now as one of the great postseason World Series performer in the history of the game. And that performance in Game 5 was absolutely outstanding and adds to the legend of Madison Bumgarner that's continuing to grow. So, Game 5, Giants up 3-2. We're going to Game 6. PV starting in Game 6. I mean, what are your thoughts? I said on Saturday after, how do we forget talking about Sandoval and all this other stuff, what Petit did to save the season on Saturday night. So after his performance on Saturday, I said, look, I only want to see 6 pitchers for the rest of this series: Mad Bum, Petit, Alfeld, Romo, Lopez, and Casilla. Now, obviously, we're not going to get that because he's starting with PV. How quick would you go to Petit in Game 6?
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm just being real, and I'm just being like, a long-time Giants fan. I'm gonna put P on a very short leash. I don't really trust the guy. I mean, maybe he proves me wrong, and I hope he does, and throws the game of his life. But seeing his performance in Game 2, I just don't know. I don't know. He didn't look like he was comfortable at all. I mean, he dropped a stinker right in front of before he hit the home plate, and I'm going to have to give him a short leash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say, like, 3, if he can make it 3-4 innings and then, like, things start going, like, where, and the thing I kind of always like to tell is, like, if they don't ever get that first pitch strike, if they start missing right from the game, because that's how you can really, as a pitcher, really kind of command the game. You get that first pitch strike, and then you start, dialing in. You start, orchestrating whatever you want to do. And if I see PV in the third and the fourth, when he starts a couple balls here and there, I might have to go to Petit. It's the World Series. You got your ego, check the ego at the door.
Right.
We gotta win.
I feel you. I've really enjoyed this time that PV's been on this team. I know with him being in San Diego before, he kind of got on my nerves. But now that he's on my team, I love it. I love this last couple months with PV, and I would love nothing more than to see him go 7 shutout innings. And he maybe lead the game with a 3-4-0 lead in line to be the winner in the clincher. I'd love to see that. Would I put money on that happening? Probably not. And it's not necessarily that he pitched so bad in Game 2. I mean, he only gave up 2 earned runs, but it was high stress. It was high stress on himself. It was high stress on everybody, and it didn't ever make you feel comfortable. He's Kauffman Field, Kauffman Stadium, whatever they're calling out there in Kansas City, is a house of horrors for him traditionally in his career, and that's something that you've got to take into a factor. So I just don't know. I would have Petit ready. I'd give PV 1 run. I'd give him 1 run, and if he gives up a run, I'm having Petit ready to go. Like you said, very short leash. I want to end this game, in this series, in 6. I don't think you bring Mad Bum in 6. I don't think you go that drastic. I think you gotta look out for his health, and you gotta have him ready for a potential Game 7, a possible Game 7. But I do have Petit ready ASAP in Game 6.
Now let me throw it back at you now. What if you had a situation, let's just say PV has like a 1-2 lead. Like, let's just say he has a 2-run lead.
Okay.
And it's just like the second, third inning, man on base. He's walked somebody, okay? He's walked another person, let's just say, or somebody just got on base. So it's 1-2 now. Mm-hmm. His boy Butler comes up. What do you do? What do you do?
Oh, okay. Man. We're in the 3rd inning.
We're in the 3rd.
We're up 2-1.
2-0, 2-0, 2-1, something like that.
If we're up 2-0 and there's only 1 runner on base, I easily let him face Butler and try and get out of it. If it's 2-1, it gets a little more dicey. But I think if we're up 2-1, well, I'll tell you like this. Maybe I let him face Butler, but Petit is definitely warming up. Petit is ready to go at the drop of a dime if he gives up a base hit to Butler or if he walks him or whatever. You don't wait around with him. So, real quick, because we're running out of time and I want to get you on your opportunity to say what you want to say. Do they win Game 6? I think they win Game 6. I think they win Game 6. I feel oddly confident and calm. Well, I shouldn't say calm because I'm nervous right now for Game 6. But I think they win Game 6 and they win the World Series tomorrow night, Lamb. I think it happens.
And I hope it happens too. It's honestly hard to say. I'm always a very cautious. I always play the cautious end just because I know my history with the Giants. But this team's special.
Yeah.
I think this team is special. I think we are the most complete team. I don't care how good their bullpen is. I don't care. They can hit this many home runs. That's all they got. Their show. That's all they got. They're just all show. We have one of the best complete teams, one of the best managers, some of the best position players in the league. I think we will win, and we will not go to a Game 7. Honestly, if we go to a Game 7, it's a coin flip, really. And usually it favors the home team just because it's home field advantage.
My guy. I don't think we'll see Game 7 either. Real quick, you have a minute. This is what I like to do with all my guests that come on here. You have a minute to speak about whatever it is you want in life. If you want to talk about love and hip-hop, if you want to talk about Ebola, if you want to talk about Instagram, whatever you want to talk about, you have a minute. Go.
There's one thing I do want to talk about. Why is Barry Bonds hanging out with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West? And has anybody seen Barry Bonds these days? Is it even more? I mean, I don't want to get into my man because he may look old. He brought back the Giants and everything like that, but like he does look a little bit skinnier these days.
He's just wait a minute. You're not going to come on Casey's Corner slandering 25. He is
I'm not slandering 25. I'm not slandering 25.
He does bike riding now, man. He does bike riding.
Okay. He got those bikes away. I agree.
Yeah, I don't have my head in the sand either. But let's just leave it at the story that he's a bike rider now. We're going to leave it at that.
He's a bike rider now, but still, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
Why wouldn't you want to hang out with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West?
Oh, I would. I'm just saying, just from what I saw. I mean, okay. Do your thing, Barry. Do your thing.
Yeah. And here's another hit, Barry Bonds. We out of here, baby. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not mad at that. Barry, keep doing your thing. Matter of fact, bring him to Kansas City. Do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? So it's all good. My man, Lamb Live. Like I said, man, I appreciate you being on here. We go way back, bruh. So I know we've had conversations like this in the past. Then I had to talk to you here with an opportunity to win another World Series. And this one is just as sweet. People talk about, oh, it's going to be different. No, this is just as sweet. So I love it. My man, I appreciate you getting on here. We're going to talk to you again. I got to talk to you about the Kings later on this year. And we definitely got to talk about the Niners, you know what I mean? So we're going to talk, bro. We're going to talk. Thank you for coming on here, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
All right, hey. That was KC's Corner. This one was not the Niner Gang remix. This was the Giants Gang remix. Trying to get that third championship. Everybody, make sure that champagne is on ice. I'm not jinxing nothing. Just have that champagne on ice. You got to have it ready. And if you're listening to this, hopefully I'll have a parade to see you at later this week. Y'all be good.
One final thing, KC. One final thing. Everybody bring their Giants gear tomorrow and bring it on point because we about to get it. We about to get it.
Please do. Giants gear tomorrow. Let's get it. Peace.